us when we gave out our kudos for all of our staff. He's been with us behind the scenes. He drove over to Franklin, hung out with us. He's been a really important part of what we're doing. So as I introduce him, I am going to give him one of our limited edition hats here. He's a big gear guy. He likes our Milford red and white here. He's our Director of Technology. I was lucky enough to kind of be on the hiring board and get a peek at what he was doing, and we knew we were in a good situation being able to grab him and bring him in. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit and move on. He's going to springboard off of leadership. I know I talked about that on Tuesday. Project Adventure yesterday, we talked a little bit about that. We're going to let him wrap it up, and then it'll be a short presentation, and then we're into the gym to wrap things up and finish things up. So without further ado, how about a quick round of applause and a thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm not going to use the microphone, so pay attention. So we're going to get on our feet. Get up. On your feet. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, so pay attention and listen, because if you don't, we're going to know who's not listening. We are going to start with the number 5 and work our way up to 10 in the next 40 minutes. I'm going to start, I'm going to say, ready, set, go, and I'm going to start clapping. And you are going to go with me. So when I say ready, set, go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? We're going to try one more time. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3. And we want to end on 5 with no other sounds. Can you do that? Can you do that? Yes. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Not bad. Let's go to 6. You ready? Are you ready? Yes. All right, we're going to go to 6. Ready, set, go. Not bad. You think we got it? All right, sit down. So, do you have to listen to me? Yes, you do. But here's what I'm going to say. Don't listen to me because I was in your seat in 1989, captain, 2 sports, Pittsfield High School, back in the day. So don't listen to me because of that, because I've had some similar experiences. Do not listen to me because I was the vice president of Springfield College, 1993, and intramural champs, and leadership training conference leader. But do not listen for that reason. Do not listen because I was a principal for 11 years, because I have my doctorate degree from BC in leadership, and I worked with some of your captains last year. Definitely don't listen for that reason. And I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to speak at some national conferences about leadership, but please do not listen to me for that reason. Why do you need to listen to me? This is an important piece of what we're doing today. Why do you have to listen today? This is your turn to participate. Why do you have to listen? Here's the first reason. I'm going to call you out if you don't. So pay attention. Why is the second reason you have to listen to me today? Go ahead. Don't be timid. Raise your hand. Be confident. You're a football captain. You start in a week. Go ahead.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, maybe. You don't know I know what I'm talking about yet. Hopefully I do. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I hope I do because I respect your coach. There's a hint.
I'm here to get everything I can out of today.
Yes, you're here to get everything out of this. Go ahead. What were you going to say? You forgot to become better leaders. You're here for the next 40 minutes in front of me. Be present. Cody talked about that yesterday, being present. Be present. But more importantly, you represent people who can't be here. There's 847, I looked it up, students who play athletics, Milford High School, and they'd love to be here. You represent them. This is a privilege for you. I'm not here for me and I'm not here for you. I am here for the kids who can't sit here. And my role today is to give you some strategies to take those away and work with those students. You are so lucky to be here. This is a privilege. And since you're here, pay attention. So you're going to see this little symbol because I know you're in high school and you don't pay attention all the time. I get that. However, when you see that, pay attention a little bit more because maybe that's the piece that maybe I know what I'm talking about. So pay attention, be present, participate, because just like your team, they're going to get out of it what they put in, just like you. If you sit here for 40 minutes and think about something else, you're going to get nothing out of it. I can't change that. But you represent athletics program. I respect immensely your athletic director. So yeah, I know you respect your coaches. Let's do it for them, do it for the players who are not here. So we're going to talk today about leaders and leadership. And Cody kind of took some of the thunder away yesterday in his activity, so I switched some things up today. But there's a difference. You are leaders, technically, because you were selected for some unknown reason. You know what it is, I don't. Maybe you're popular, maybe you're the best athlete, but maybe you have the leadership to lead your team, and I hope you do. If you don't, that's why you should pay attention. So, what does that mean? Did you know what that meant? Because only like 3 people said it. Hold on, we're going to do that again. What does that mean? All right, pay attention, because this is about leadership characteristics. So here's some leaders. When we think of leaders, we typically think principals, we have tech leaders, we have social leaders, we have presidents, we have athletic leaders. They're leaders. But we also have other leaders, right? And you can insert real leaders. I don't want to do that because it's not my position to insert who you think is a good or is not a good leader. But there are people in positions that are leaders. I would argue they don't show leadership in what they do. Your job is to show leadership as the leaders. So this is something I learned way back in that awesome picture at Springfield College, that leadership is action, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I've heard this multiple times over the 3 days. What are you going to do as the leader? Are you going to sit there with the C on your jacket or sweater or uniform and say, I'm the captain, game over, pay attention to me? Because let me tell you, they may do that out of positional authority. Do you know what that is, positional authority? What does that mean? What's positional power mean? I have it right now. Your new principal has it. Your coach has it. What's positional power? You have it over some of your team. What do you think it means? What do you think? I can't hear you. Right, you're in charge. I'm in front of you. I'm talking to you. Your principal can get on loudspeaker, call you down. That's positional power. People are going to fall in line. They're going to comply. It's a compliance task at that point. You want to show these leadership attributes so they follow you. That's the difference. So yesterday, Cody talked a little bit about some of the leadership. Where's our writer? Zach T, was it? Who? What? Oh, you were, all right, so I won't make fun of you. You were the drawer that he ripped off the thing on, right? Oh, you were the drawer too, okay. So Cody went through some of these. And actually some are fabulous and that I was going to talk about today, but I switched it up because I didn't want to bore you with the same stuff. But we are going to talk about 5 leadership characteristics I hope that you leave here with. Not only leave here with, where are you going to bring those characteristics? Andrew, where are you going to bring those characteristics? I can't hear you. Okay, that was awesome. Thank you for saying that. Where am I going to bring these leadership characteristics? Girls, was this a dance? Like, what the heck? Where are you going to bring these leadership characteristics that you learn? To your teams. All right, stand up, get up. We're falling asleep again. What number are we on, Aiden? We did 6. All right, we got to get to 7. Where's the music? Are you going to sing, Shane? All right, so there's no music. All right, so we got to get to 7. Ready, set, go. All right, sit down. You're going to take these characteristics back to your team. So think about this for a second. And Coach Danish did, I'm going to jump off a little bit what you said because it's so valuable, and that's a hint. Your group or team, we'll say team, your team is this ocean liner in this metaphor. What is your role of that ocean liner? Stand up and say it so we all can hear it. All right, we have Josh, is it? Jacob. Jacob says to steer the ship. Do we know what the actual name of the person who steers the ship is? Okay, we have captain. Any other guesses? There should be more guesses. Oh, there's your hint. What do you think, Patrick? The rudder of the boat, the actual rudder, or the person that's moving the rudder? Okay, either one. So we have the captain, we have the person steering the ship. Skipper, I'm not a sailor. What's that mean? It just sounded cool to say. What is it? Another name for a captain. All right, we have synonym for captain. Anybody going to eat? What if you get sick? What's your name? Kate? What do you got for me, Kate? Twice you've raised your hand and backed off. I'm not going to let it happen. Okay, so now we're actually talking about things. So the engine, the rudder. All right. One of the things that Coach Danish said was about vision. And we're going to talk about this. So all the things that you talked about, and someone said chef, and someone said nurse, and someone said multiple other positions. Those are roles on the cruise ship. I'm guessing, could be wrong, the captain does not know how to cook. I am guessing he may or may not, or she may or may not know everything about the boat. You know who does? Who would know everything about it? Who? Well, the boat would, but I'm not talking to many boats lately. Maybe the engineers. Talk to me more about that. What's that mean, the engineer? Tell me, explain it better. You're right on the right track, Patrick. I like it. Patrick, the person that designs the boat, the architect, the engineer, as captains. So first one, always. I've done this a few times. Always first person says captain. Okay? You're the captains. But your characteristics about being a leader start before you step on the field, before you get on the boat in this metaphor. You have to think about, I know football starts next week, and then the other fall sports start a week later. Listening to what Coach Danish said, your job starts now to think about the vision for your team. Think about how you're going to build the practice. Not just the start of the practice. How are you going to close that first practice when people are tired because they didn't work out over the summer? Or they're too small to be on the team, but your job is to make sure they make the team. You have to think that through. So your role, your first leadership characteristic is vision, and you've heard it twice now in the last hour, so it must be important. Why is it important? Paul, why is it important? Or where's my not pay attention guy? Andrew, why is this important? How do you know this is important? Don't fail me now. Come on. Somebody whisper in his ear, because I can't go to somebody else. What? Yell it out. Why do you need to listen? Help me out here. Yes, listening and understanding go together. What is the visual cue that lets you know the next time I call on you because I'm coming back to you? The Twitter symbol. You say it like I knew you said that because I didn't hear you say it. If I did, I take it back. So your role starts these 3 days. Not only are you gaining characteristics to become better leaders, you're gaining those characteristics to bring those back to your team. Somebody said it yesterday, I think it was Cody, not sure. You are one team. Yes, you play different sports, but you are one team. If you can learn something from a different sport, go learn something from a different sport. You're not too proud to go watch a different sport practice if they have a great warm-up activity, if they have a great cheer to get people motivated. So you have to think of that. All right, where are my two entourage people yesterday? What was Ligor and Alexa? Come on up. There was no question mark on that statement. Alexa, right? And you were the runner-up. Alexa, come on up. So I need help. That was you, right? Or was I sleeping? Okay.
No, it was me.
All right. You were the winner yesterday, right?
Yeah.
For the was I in La La Land? All right. So we have some participation here. So I am the old man in this scenario. Pay attention. I am the old man. I'll get the microphone for you. I don't need it, but apparently you all do. Okay? You're going to read the blue.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
And you're going to read the what?
This,
Yeah, no, the yellow.
Oh, the yellow.
The yellow.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, you got it now? She's blue, you're
Yellow.
yellow.
Got
Okay.
Let's do it.
You two can pass the mic back and forth. I'm the no color, so don't
Okay.
read that. What color are you?
I'm blue.
I'm yellow.
Awesome. All right.
Okay. A young man is walking along the ocean and sees a beach on which thousands and thousands of starfish have washed ashore. Further along, he sees an old man walking slowly and stooping. It's supposed to say stopping. Stopping often, picking up one starfish after another and tossing each one gently into the ocean.
Why are you throwing sea stars into the ocean?
Because the sun is up, the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them further, they will die.
But old man, don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and sea stars all along it? You can't possibly save them all. You can't even save 1/10 of them. In fact, even if you work all day, your efforts won't make any difference at all.
The old man listened calmly and then bent down to pick up another sea star and threw it into the sea.
It would make a difference to this one if I threw it back. And I'm sure you've heard the story multiple times. I wanted to get people up and participating. First of all, big round of applause for our winners yesterday. Parting gifts, you can keep those.
Thanks.
So the point of that, and I'm sure you've heard it, so I wanted to bring some people up in case to add a little dramatics to it. But the point of it, that there was thousands of sea stars. And the old man was throwing a few back. And the young guy says, why are you doing that? It's not worth your time. But however many I threw back saved a life. There's going to be people that come out for your teams that probably aren't up to par, that probably don't have the athletic ability that you have. But your roles are not to determine that. Your leadership is about making a difference in that young man or young girl's time in your sport. So your role is to make a difference. And how you do that is up to you. I can't determine that. My cadence of speaking, my way of leading is different than yours. What you have to leave here with is knowing that that's a characteristic that you have to have. You have to have, what was the first thing I said? Andrew, what was the first leadership characteristic that Coach Danis also went over? Come on, buddy, help me out here, man. You're killing me. My Lordy B. Yes, so first you have to have vision, and then the second thing is, how are you going to make a difference once you get on that field, once you get on the court, once you get in the pool, wherever your domain is? How are you going to make a difference for every person that steps on that floor? Okay, where's my next volunteers? Or kind of picked on. Come on up. So I'm going to tell a little story while they come up here and get their instruments ready. As you saw those awesome old-time photos, you noticed that none of them were at all musical. So if I get a trumpet, or if I get a flute, or if I get any musical instrument, what level of value does that instrument have in my hand? None, very little. You can say it louder. Very, very little. If I'm going to sell my flute that my sister left me, I'm going to sell it for like $1 because it has no value to me. However, if it is in the right hands, whatever it is, take it away. You can go first. Oh, you need me to hold it? I can't go first. Okay. Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, all right. Emily, whose flute, is that a flute? Stay here. All right, flute comes rolling in like 15 minutes ago. Rock it. Yeah! How awesome is that? Thank you. Thank you. One more round just for them. Round of applause for them. Thank you so much. You can sit down. So, me with either of those instruments, that has no value. And again, these are all metaphors if you haven't picked up on it. The cruise ship, the starfish, the instruments, they are metaphors to how you're going to take these characteristics back to your team. Shane, you can play something? Or are you just helping out Andrew because he wasn't paying attention before? Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, remember my slide one? That was actually really nice of you to ask him for some water, or offered up some water. So excellent job, Shane. Excellent job to our two musicians. Nice work. So how are you going to do that to your teams and your players when you get back, or each other? I saw some of the photos yesterday. I was disappointed. I actually had to do my job yesterday afternoon. I couldn't stay with you for the ropes courses. You were spotting each other. In that entourage game, when you were out, what did you do when you were out? What did you do when you were out? You cheered on the other people. You were adding value to your leader, essentially, the rock, paper, scissors game, by cheering them on. And I know that Pam was here 2 days ago and talking about that positive encouragement. That makes a difference. So how are you going to add value? Anybody know who this is? What did you say? No? Anybody? I'll give you. It's not me. Does this name ring a bell? It should from this group here because it was an answer you gave this morning when someone threw you a ball. Someone threw you a ball and they said, oh, I watch this all the time. I think it was over here. Oh, right? Was that this group over here? Shane, there you moved. Were you sitting over here? So, no. So, Stephen, now think about this for a second. Think about this. So this guy says, I'm going to go to Nickelodeon. Or I think that's the network. Shane, is that the network? Yes, okay. So he says, I'm going to go to this network with this great idea. I'm going to sit down in front of some suits with this great idea. And he sits down, looks across probably a table of multiple people who are going to hopefully fund this idea, and says, hey, I got an idea for a show. It's about a sponge, right? This sounds great already. Has pants, lives under the sea, has some kooky friends. Who's with me? Like, I can't even imagine the courage that took to walk into that room of suits and say, here's my idea. It's about a sponge. How great is that? Like, seriously. And he lives under the sea, and I don't know what his net worth is. Don't look it up now because I'll tell you to put your phone away, but it's probably a lot. Do you think that was his first idea, though? So it probably wasn't his first idea. It was a crazy idea. But part of being a leader is to have the courage to do something you believe in. I'm going to call out Ms. Danish one more time. This was one of the first times you presented in front of a group. She presented for me at a technology event. That takes courage to do. But she believed, she had vision of what she wanted to do. What's another thing that she might have been able to do that we've talked about today? She had vision of what she wanted to do. What do you think she did to this event, hopefully? Make a difference. Thank you for paying attention. And what did she do to the whole event, just like our musicians? She added value. And she did those first few things because she had the courage to come up in front of you all and speak. And a lot goes into that. She sent me her presentation like a week ago. We were in here at lunch running through it. So having the courage as a leader is critically important. I'm going to tell another story about courage. This is, what's the Twitter thing mean, Nick? Pay attention. Okay. So I also like to bring, I don't know Stephen at all, but I'm going to tell a story about courage. So I was, as I said, in my own head, a big deal at Springfield, right? I was leadership training conference leader, new student orientation leader, vice president. It was a big deal. And when I was a junior, I applied to be the leader of the leadership training conference. Like, of course, right? I'm going to get that. I'm a big deal. I'm pretty important. And I'm somewhat taller than everyone else. And I apply, put no time and effort in because I'm Matt Joseph. I'm going to get this. Why would I even interview? And do you see my resume? Hello. And I go, the current leader, I'm the first one because I'm like, I just want to get this over with. Thank you. When do we start? And like 2 weeks later, I'm in my dorm, alumni hall, and get the letter. This can't be my letter because it says I'm not selected as a leader of leaders. Like, huh? No, it has my name on it. And so the person, if you're looking at it, to your right, Mark Cicciarella, 5'6", freshman. I was a junior. Come on. He comes up in Alumni Hall, proud as could be, proud as could be. I got picked as the leader of, it's called LTC, Leadership Training Conference. I got picked. Right in, all my friends are there. He's so proud. What do you think I did? What do you think I did? What do you think I did? I definitely did not cry. I was way too proud and too embarrassed. I was definitely jealous, but I didn't show that. What did I do? I wish I congratulated him. What would I do? Absolutely. Insulted him. Condescended this little freshman. Coming up to the alumni hall where all the juniors live and bragging that he got the position that's mine. Took that moment from him. Put him in his place. He left. He probably cried. He didn't because we're like best friends now. Fast forward. So what do I do at that point? What would I do as, you already saw I was intramurals champion. What would I do for the whole leadership training conference? What do I do? What? I didn't sulk. I was way too embarrassed and proud. I didn't care. I quit. Screw this. You don't want me? I'm not going. I'm done. Not even going as a participant this year. Out. So the way they do it, it's similar to this, where you go a couple days, you learn some skills, and then we go to Silver Bay, New York. It's a great place, YMCA, Springfield Associated YMCA. The night before, the night before the event, I get a phone call. Who called me? Mark Cicciarella called me, because we're talking about courage now. He was the leader. I've never met a better leader as you listen to this. He called me. Why did he call me? One, because I quit. Two, he asked for advice, because he's never done it, and this is a year later, so now I'm a senior. I'm a senior, he's calling me. He's a sophomore. He wants me back. Like, I get choked up. He wants me, huh? Are you drinking, Mark? And he doesn't drink. I'm like, what? He's like, one of the people in my group dropped out, and I need an outgoing person because we're doing a film, and that person left. Can you join the team? Now, I'm dumbfounded, because this guy, I insulted him, I quit, and he's like, you know what I need? That Joe Schmo, because I know he'll help our group. He invited me back, and I went, and it was unbelievable. The best leader I've ever been. And since he was a young kid, he was the leader next year and asked me to be a leader the next year. Blown away. How about that awesome purple jacket, too, by the way? Like, seriously. Blown away. There he is, little Mark Ciccarella. Second person I called when I got into BC. Second person I called when I got my first principal job. He will always be somebody who I talk about being a leader. Now, there is a second part to this story. And if I don't get through it, this is how much it meant to me for him to call me. So this was that awesome picture again with that fabulous lime green sweater. So focus on your left, bottom left. Bottom left. Wasn't even going to this event because I was too proud. Well, unfortunately for her, I did, because 25 years later, we're still together. And there's human beings now alive because Mark Ciccarella decided to pick up the phone. Not only did he show courage for his team, he changed my life. He made a difference. Because little Mark Ciccarella is like, hey, can you I don't even think he hit puberty. He's like, hey, Matt, can you come? He came to our wedding. Our first kid was going to be named Mark until once you have another, you'll know you don't get a choice. So it's not, it's Shane. But real courage, you did see the shorts, right? Where's our basketball player? Like, rocking those things. Like, that's pretty bad. And lime green sweater. That's real courage or stupidity? So have some courage in what you do, because people will remember it. You will make a difference. You may not always be right. SpongeBob guy probably told 50 friends, and they're like, you're a nutball. Stop smoking something. Okay, this has nothing to do with football. What do you think VFL stands for? What do you think it could stand for? You're probably not going to get it, but this is important. Kind of builds off a little bit about what Pam was saying. Visible felt leadership. Visible felt leadership. So I heard a guy, totally not stealing his stuff, but his message was share it, is that leadership is about how you make people feel. It's not about what you say, it's how you make people feel. So I pulled this picture up. It just happened to be a football one, not for any other reason, but I thought it made the point. That person in the front could have missed a kick, could have fumbled. Insert your idea into your sport, how the person may not have been as successful as possible. You're the captain of that team. How are you going to make that person feel? No matter if it's the state championship or the first game, it does not matter in that person's life, because you're going to make a difference. What is that, number 2? What do you think number 2, how do you think he made number 43 feel? How do you think he made him feel? What do you think, Josh? Great. Made him feel great. Why? Almost like a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a team. He lets him know, I got your back. I'm here for you. We might have lost the game. We might have lost the state championship. We might have lost whatever it is. Because I've heard all you talk about winning has been all your goals yesterday, today, and that's awesome. That's definitely a goal. But if you don't stand up for 43 in your whatever it is, then you're not a leader. You're the Darth Vader leader in this, what we've been talking about. Your leadership characteristic is to make sure that person knows they still feel part of the team. Because, okay, there's a few people here, we're looking at the slide. You know who else is watching number 2? You know who else is watching number 2? Who else? You got it. Yes, Andrew! Give it up for Andrew! Yeah! Everybody else is watching what you do as the captain, as the leader, and now we're going into slow clap for some reason. All right, go, start it up. All right. All right. So everybody's watching in the stands, and everybody's watching in your dugout, bench, sideline, whatever your sport is. They are going to see how you act as the leaders. Okay, so we're going to, Twitter sign. What's that mean? Pay attention. What are the 5 characteristics we talked about today? Vision, make a difference. We're going totally out of order. That's okay. Adding value, courage. All right, you did okay. You did all right. So Stand up. We're on what? 7-ish? 8. All right, come on. We're almost done. We're on 8. The music will be back. Don't you worry. Okay. So we're on 8. Where's Andrew? Andrew, come on up with me, buddy. Come on, buddy. Andrew, you're with me, buddy. All right, Andrew's going to start us. Andrew's in charge. Do you remember the cadence?
I don't remember the cadence.
Okay, ready, set, go.
Okay.
Shh, page.
All right, so 8 claps.
Yep.
Correct? Okay. Ready, set, go.
A little off. We're going to do it again. That's okay. It's Andrew's first time in the front. We're going to try it again.
Ready, set, go.
Think we got it. All right, we got to get to 9 then. We got to go 9. Can you stay with me? Yes. All right, we're going to 9.
Ready, set, go.
No, we'll try it one more time. That's all right. That's all right. This is tough.
All right. Ready, set, go.
Close. Close enough. We gave it a good shot. We're going to get 10, though. I was impressed that Andrew was awake enough to come up. That was great. So, a couple things. I have less than 5 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions? Because then I have a challenge for you. Oh, yes?
Where did you get the FL?
From Chad. That was totally from Chad Hymas. He is a 30-second snippet, or you can watch one of the Milford videos we've done. He is a motivational speaker who is a college basketball player who is now quadriplegic, who does leadership talks, and it's all about making people feel part of a team. So Chad Hymas is his name, and he's a great follow and a great book. Totally Chad's words. Other questions? All right, I have a challenge. So part of what you do as leaders is to not have one-offs or standalone. If you do a drill with your team, or you give a speech, or whatever you do as the captains, if everybody forgets it, that stinks. It's a waste of your time. If you forget things that we've talked about today, it was a waste of my time, and it was a waste of your time. Here's my email address. I want you to email me a takeaway or feedback before the first day of school. Feel free to tweet out anything you like to eat as well. What do you think will happen if you don't? What do you think will happen if you don't follow through? I can't hear you. Nothing? You obviously haven't been paying attention. Okay. What do you think will happen? I will call you out. I have all your schedules. I know your classes. So imagine the first day of school. I come walking into your class and say, hey, Andrew, I don't recall getting any email from you. Excuse me, teacher. Would you mind giving me feedback right now? Let's hear it. Do you have some now, or do you want to think about it?
I'll start off and I'll start. I feel like personally from my experience, I feel like I've learned a lot more and I've paid attention more.
Awesome. That's some courage right there. Twice now. First he admitted he wasn't paying attention, which was awesome. It's so much easier just to do that because I totally knew you weren't. And the second is he rallied and came through. So please email me something, tweet it out, and somebody asked for music. I'm going to leave you with this. You were clapping. That's great. Managers light a fire under people, and leaders light a fire in people. Let's go. We're going to get 10. Get up. Let's go. Pete, come on up. You're going to do it. We got 10. Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Huge.
Thank you.
Nicely